Hi everybody, we're live from MarkLogic World here, and I'm Matt Turner. I'm our CSO for manufacturing. That does include all industries, Doug. And this is Doug Myers, the CIO of Suffolk Construction.
Greetings, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. So Doug, we're going to be talking about the construction industry. Can you tell us a little bit about the construction industry, what's going on, and where does Suffolk fit into the construction industry?
Sure, okay. Suffolk is a general contractor. Now what does that mean? Okay, so there's a developer, they have a budget, a rough budget, they've probably got a plot of land, and they got a vision for something they'd like to build. They might even have an architectural rendering of what the building's going to look like. General contractor typically comes in, helps them refine the estimate, what's achievable, what's the optimal way to use the money and the plot of land to achieve the goal. And then the general contractor is also responsible for bringing in all the trades that are going to be required to actually build the building.
All right, so you do all the hard stuff, and they get credit for actually there being a building at the end of it. Is that the story?
We're here to be part of the team. That's what we're all about.
But we are talking about construction, we're talking about buildings. Do you guys have people actually doing the construction? People on the job, hard hats?
Yes, we have our own folks that do some of that work. We also bring in a lot of subcontractors as well to do the work.
So out of the whole Suffolk world, what's kind of the breakdown? Who's doing what?
Oh, okay. So in the Suffolk world, most of what we do, we're contracting out. What goes into some of these buildings, like for example, we have a $1.5 billion building going up in Boston right now.
Is that expensive or cheap?
That's
expensive.
It's one of the largest going on at the moment, and it is the amount of trades that go into that is unbelievable. So part of what owners are looking for, our clients are looking for, is someone who can bring in and coordinate all those people, because no one can bring all that staff to the plate just on their own. So we're there to make sure that we bring in the people who can do the job, and we ensure it can be done on time, on budget.
So we'll get into this a little bit, but it's not just lining them up, it's lining them up at the right time.
Exactly.
If I did it, they would all show up at once and the building, it would be a disaster.
There's a choreography to this, absolutely.
Your CEO, John Fish, has said that there's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to transform this industry, that whole process of getting a building. What's going on? What is he seeing, and what are you doing as part of this?
Sure, John's a visionary, and he's been in this industry his whole life. He's built Suffolk into one of the 25 largest general contractors in the country, largest single-owned general contractor in the country. Things are actually going very well for the industry and very well for Suffolk. And times like that actually can be the toughest to try to drive change. There's no burning platform that we're dealing with. There's no abyss that people are staring into. Things are going quite well. But John doesn't like to think about today. He's always thinking about tomorrow. And he's also big on comparing Suffolk to companies outside of our industry. And in his travels, he's encountered a lot of folks who will tell him very interesting insights about how other industries have been disrupted. Nobody expected the taxi industry to be disrupted the way it was. Nobody expected newspapers to go the way they have, or department stores. And in virtually all of those cases, it was about technology and data disrupting how things had been done. And John wants to be the one who disrupts the industry. John wants Suffolk to be the one that leads the way. And he recognizes that the industry has to use data and technology even better than they are currently in order to be able to do that.
What role can data play, and then what is it we're talking about being transformed?
Sure, so just to back up a step, the construction industry has been one that is actually probably leveraged technology the least of any of the major industries. I'm going to try to be polite here.
We could take some bets around here, but we'll let this go. You'll win today.
So there have been a lot of studies actually to show that the construction industry's efficiencies have actually gone down over the past 25 years compared to other industries because, in part, we've got incredibly capable people, very hardworking, smart people in the industry who have typically not had to use technology to do their job. So all that choreography we talked about earlier, believe it or not, there are people who could do that kind of stuff in their head, who could do it with yellow stickies on the wall, who could do it just with common sense, experience, intuition. But we all know that that can only take you so far. And also you have the fact that as these people retire, how do you now capture what's in Jim's head?
Yeah.
So recognizing that, we're trying to leverage data at every point along that path I described. Now, the parts where Suffolk plays, we play a large part in the estimating, or what we call pre-construction phase. That's where the owner has brought the idea, maybe even some architectural renderings to the table, and we're there to provide the reality check, the optimization to say, well, with this budget and with these objectives, let's configure it differently, we can get a better outcome. We're not designing the building, but we are providing a set of constraints that can help them get the desired outcome. And there's a whole lot of data that can go into that. There are people that can do that kind of work in their head or can make that kind of magic happen in Excel. We want to be able to do that in a more scalable way. Then you've got the plan and control phase. That's where, okay, we've landed on the estimate, we've signed all the contracts, it's now about the choreography, the orchestration of all these trades. You said it yourself. If you could do all the right things, but do them in the wrong order or all at the same time, and you get a very unfavorable outcome, right? So part of
like
the effort—
all the trucks arriving at the same time.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So part of the effort is, during this plan and control phase, we want to build the building virtually before it gets built in the physical world, to find the conflicts, to find the areas where the plan as written isn't the best plan. And that involves a lot of collaboration, involves a lot of coordination, and again, involves leveraging data.
How about on the site? Are we getting into anything on the site, or?
Yes, there's a lot of things actually happening on the site. And just one that chops right to mind, I think is pretty interesting, is we've partnered with a firm, a startup, to take image recognition for safety purposes. And in a nutshell, the goal is to capture all the thousands of images we're already taking of our job sites through either job site cameras or inspections, and look for patterns in there that indicate either unsafe practices or potential unsafe practices, and then apply some artificial intelligence to that to be able to spot risks or spot higher risk projects before somebody gets hurt.
So your clients, they're making buildings, they're expecting you to deliver this big vision. They get to take all the credit, of course, but you guys do all the hard work. What's it going to mean for them?
Well, it all comes down to user experience. So many companies, and again, John Fisher, our CEO, does not like to compare us to other construction companies. He likes to compare us to companies he admires, regardless of the industry they're in. And when you think about some of the best brands that we interact with on a regular basis, it's the user experience that ultimately sets them apart. We believe we can take data and take technology and create an experience for our owners, and actually for our subcontractors, for that matter, other partners, that sets us apart from other construction companies. And if you think about it, we can make contributions before pre-construction all the way toward site selection. We could help them better leverage their data to potentially assess a neighborhood and make some educated predictions about what that neighborhood could become. We could also go beyond the construction process into the building management phase, and we could do some things with data and how we build the building that's going to help them manage the building better after we hand the keys over.
Well, it's great to include you now and among our innovators here at the show.
Thank you,
So
appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Doug.
Good stuff.